I was still in uniform when my father told me my leg wasn't worth $5,000. The doctor had just used the word disability, not as a warning, but as a cold fact if surgery didn't happen fast. My phone was pressed to my ear. My boot was half unlaced. My knee had swollen so badly, the fabric looked like it was about to rip. And on the other end of the call, my mother sighed like I was being dramatic. My sister laughed like it was some funny inconvenience. And my father said calmly, almost kindly, "Sweetheart, we just bought a boat. This isn't a good time." That was the moment something inside me didn't break. It just went silent. I was stationed 2 hours from home when it happened, during a routine training exercise that was supposed to be boring. We'd done it dozens of times before. Movement under load, controlled pace, no drama. But then, I heard the sound first. A sharp, wet pop that didn't belong in a human body. Then heat. Then the ground rushing up too fast. Pain in the military isn't new. You learn early how to separate discomfort from danger. But this wasn't discomfort. This was the kind of pain that steals your breath and replaces it with pure white noise. I tried to stand. My leg buckled like it didn't belong to me anymore. The medic knelt beside me, fingers already pressing, eyes narrowing. "Don't move," he said, not gently, seriously. At the clinic, fluorescent lights hummed overhead while I lay on a narrow bed. My uniform cut into my knee. My leg swelled by the minute, tight, shiny, turning colors I didn't have words for. Purple, yellow, something darker underneath. The physician's assistant didn't sugarcoat it. Significant ligament damage, possibly worse. She tapped the screen where my MRI glowed. "You need surgery soon." "How soon?" I asked. She paused. That pause told me everything. "This week." Then she said it. "If you wait, you're looking at long-term impairment. Limited mobility may be permanent." I nodded like she just told me the weather. But inside, I was terrified. The problem wasn't surgery. The problem was approval. Anyone who served knows the waiting game. Forms, reviews, authorizations. Someone else's signature standing between you and your own body. The earliest the military medical system could approve the procedure was weeks out. Weeks I didn't have. The PA lowered her voice. "If you can do this off base, you should." "How much?" I asked. She wrote a number on a scrap of paper and slid it across the tray. $5,000. Not even the full cost. Just the down payment on being able to walk normally again. That night, I sat on the edge of my bunk. My leg wrapped in thick gauze. My boot on the floor like an abandoned shell. The barracks around me were loud, laughter, music, someone yelling at a video game. Life going on. And I stared at my phone for a long time before calling home. My father answered on the third ring. "Hey, kiddo," he said, cheerful and distracted. I could hear tools clinking in the background, maybe the TV. "Dad," I said, keeping my voice steady. "I got hurt, it's bad." I explained everything. Injury, surgery, timeline, cost. I even said I'd pay it back. I wasn't asking for a gift. I was asking for a lifeline. Silence. Then his familiar exhale, the one that always came before disappointment. "We just bought the boat," he said. "You know the timing is terrible." "It's my leg," I said quietly. "If I don't do this, I might not walk right again." And my father replied, "You're young, you'll adapt." My mother picked up the extension. She always did when things got uncomfortable. "Honey," she said softly, "maybe this is a lesson. You chose this career. You chose the risks." Then she added, like she was talking about a parking ticket, "A limp will teach responsibility." My sister cut in, bright and amused. "Relax, you always figure things out." And then she laughed. Actually laughed. I looked down at my leg. Blood soaking through gauze. staining clean white into something ugly and real. I thought of the doctor's word. Permanent. I understand, I said. And I did. I didn't cry. I didn't beg. I didn't argue. I just hung up. And in the noise of the barracks, something inside me settled into place. Cold, clear. Some people will say I went too far. Maybe they're right. From the perspective of people who have never had to beg for help while bleeding internally. From the perspective of people who have never been told their pain was inconvenient. But here's what I know. I can walk without pain. I can run without fear. I can sleep without resentment. And I can finally look in the mirror without asking myself why I wasn't enough for the people who were supposed to love me first. That isn't revenge. That's freedom. And if you're listening to this right now, if you've ever been the dependable one, the quiet one, the one who always figures it out, please hear me when I say this. You're not weak for needing help. And you're not wrong for stopping the cycle. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is stop saving people who wouldn't even save you. This is Past Quest Stories. If this story hit your heart, drop a comment and tell me where you're listening from. And if you believe justice doesn't always come loud, but it always comes eventually, subscribe for more real stories like this. Because you're not alone. And your story matters.